What is it? All right, I give. Come on, what's going on here? Russ Gibb jumping up and down at random with donuts and letters and craziness. What is this thing? I see my crew is high-spirited folks. What is it? I give. All right. Oh, Ted Turner.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, Ted. What is this?
Looks like you got a problem here, sir.
You got a monkey wrench. Is that a monkey wrench?
No, that won't help, sir.
That won't help?
What you've got here is a donut cooker.
Oh, a donut microwave cooker. Is this the new event down at the donut mill? You know,
Yes,
just
sir.
because the guys are giving us free donuts, you don't have to get crazy. You know, I mean, it's...
Not bad.
It looks more like something you call the space shuttle.
But, sir, there's two things you can do with this.
What is that?
We've also got contact with the space shuttle.
Oh, yeah, space shuttle contact. All right.
Houston.
Good. See if you can get me up my guest, Dave
Houston.
Bierman from Etzel Ford. We want to talk about the future of the Dearborn Public Schools. If you're in the public schools, we're in deep trouble.
Houston, come on in. What's going on? Space shuttle, huh? Oh, well. What's going on with this Dave Bierman guy?
He's a guest on the Gibb Show, tell him.
He's nothing.
Oh, he's not?
All right. Well, heck, people. I want you to get that space shuttle down and make sure the Russians don't get him.
You got it. Listen, take this thing off. I got something for you anyway. Can we get it off my desk?
Yeah.
Well, life in the big city, how are you? Really, you know, we're doing a series on the future of the Dearborn Public Schools, the past, the present, and the future. And I've had a graduate of Dearborn High on, and I thought it'd be interesting if we were to take a young person who just graduated. And my guest today is Mr. Dave Bierman, a young man who was the editor of the paper at Etzel Ford, and talk to him about his perception of his education that he received. He just graduated in June, so we'll be talking to him. Before I do that, however, when I was in New York, Mr. Turner, I talked to someone and said that I knew that you were a great fan of Martha Quinn. Now, you better tell the folks who Martha Quinn is.
Well, Martha Quinn's a old friend of mine, and we go way back.
Mm-hmm.
About 4 years. And she said, hey, Ted, what's going on in television now? And I said, hey, Martha, there's a real new thing coming out. It's called MTV. And, you know, I told her, hey, I can get you a job there. So I went and talked to the guy, and I said, hey, this girl looks cute.
Give her a job.
She's got a future.
Give her a job at MTV. She's one of the disc jockeys, or the video, what do they call them?
Video jockeys.
The video jockeys. And can we get a close-up of that? Are we getting a close-up of that? Yeah. And she gave you an autographed photograph of that, right? There it is. What does it say on there? Let me see if I can read. It says, to Steve Ted Turner. What is that? House TBS. TBS. What's TBS?
Turner Broadcasting.
Oh, Turner Broadcasting System, signed Martha Quinn. There you are. I want you to have that. I got that the other day when I was in New York for you.
Thanks, sir. I got
I keep thinking on you. Put that up there. You have a bunch of them. There he goes. That's what I like, gratitude in today's youngsters. Life in the big city. If you haven't watched MTV, you may want to take a look at it. You wonder about some of the things there, but it's done more to pep up the record business than anything in the last 20 years. It's creating an interest in the record business, and as you know, they were in a depression for about 4 or 5 years. And there's a whole new thing coming on. Of course, they're very orientated toward the new wave and the punk and the avant-garde on that particular music show. But kids are watching it, and mom and pops are looking at it and shaking their head and just wondering what's going on. But it's always been that way. If the kids like it, what the heck. Hey, enough of this fooling around. Let's pay some bills and then get on with my guest, Mr. Dave Bierman, and we'll be talking to Dave about how he viewed his education at Etzel Ford School right here in Dearborn, Michigan. Hang in there, will you? Yeah, look at the camera. There's the one you want.
For a truck dealership, look to GMC Truck Center in Dearborn, the total dealership for you. The GMC Truck Center offers you a wide range of new and used trucks. We also accept cars in trade, so that buying a truck is a one-stop event. And you can depend on that great GMC quality service to ensure the best treatment for you and your truck. But it's the people that make the difference, and our staff is committed to you. Visit the total dealership, GMC Truck Center on Ford Road at Wyoming in Dearborn.
Okay, you guys, you're gonna win it today. You're gonna play your hearts out. Did you hear what I said?
Yeah, Coach!
and I want you to keep your eyes on the ball. You play the ball, don't let the ball play you. What do you say, team?
Yeah, Coach!
Now, go in there and win one for the skipper.
What, Coach?
Yes, Pef.
It's Sunday! Remember, never on Sunday!
Pef, you're right.
They showed me how to double my return and still get to my money whenever I need it.
We save hundreds in taxes every year.
With the Big E's tax-sheltered savings.
And retirement programs.
When you need help with your financial empire, talk to us. If it's new and better, it's at the Big E.
The Big E will do it for you.
Dearborn Press and Guide goes out to thousands of your neighbors every Thursday. And the Press and Guide is the only weekly newspaper in town whose circulation is verified by the Audit Bureau of Circulation.
So our advertisers know for sure how many people they're reaching.
The Press and Guide is the only paper in town where you can place a classified ad until noon on Wednesday for Thursday's paper. We have courteous, trained advisors who will assist you in placing your ad.
The Press and Guide gives you complete, in-depth coverage on news that affects you and your neighbors, along with entertaining features and an award-winning sports section. The Press and Guide is the only paper in town that brings you award-winning photography and columnists like Fred Hoffman, Gretchen Ackerman, and myself, Gary Warnchak.
The Dearborn Press and Guide. For a lot of people, it's the only newspaper in town.
For home delivery, call 846-3400. When you select a jewelry store, choose one that's as special as the jewels. Shop at the Gold Market, a very different jewelry store. We sell the finest quality jewelry and timepieces, such as art carved and Longines. And we offer a full-service repair department on the premises. But that's just the beginning. We feature professional diamond service where experts will help you select your stone. We offer custom-crafted designs, and we guarantee all of our jewelry. For a jewelry store that's a gem, visit the Gold Market in Westbourne Shopping Center.
Back again, Russ Gibb. My guest today is Mr. Dave Bierman. I've known Dave for about a year, and he was the editor of the paper at Etzel Ford High.
Yep.
Graduated this last June, and I don't recall you always dressing the way you're dressing right now, David. Did you? Were you that crazy in high school?
Oh, yeah.
Were you really?
Yeah, I was stuck out a little bit, I guess.
Stuck out? What does that mean now? Tell me what stuck out.
Well, I mean, okay, at Etzel you have your, at Dearborn High, I've visited there a few times, and they seem to have more new wave people, or more people into, new wave or punk music, and Etzel Ford.
And you're into music too, obviously.
Oh, very, yeah. And Etzel Ford is the opposite.
Really?
You're top 40 or you're blacklisted socially.
Well, now, you were the editor of their paper, and that's a very fine paper, the Thunderbolt, isn't it?
The Bolt.
The Bolt, right.
Yeah.
And it was always well done. And what kind of student were you in high school?
Average.
Mark-wise?
Average.
Got average marks. Now, what are your plans now that you're out of high school?
Well, I've been getting the music and the performing.
End of it?
Yeah, and I'm going to Henry Ford in the fall, but I'm looking more towards music right now.
As a career?
Yeah, this summer I went to Columbia University in New York.
Oh, did you really?
Yeah, my journalism advisor, Mrs. Lindsay, sent me there for a magazine conference for 5 days, and I enjoyed that a lot.
Well, you know, I came to know you when you did play-by-play on one of the football games, and I wanted you to be a regular play-by-play announcer because you really did a marvelous job. If I look at you now, I wouldn't assume that you were a football player.
Oh, no.
And of course, at Etzel Ford, you know, football is very big because they have super teams.
Football, yeah, is big. It's bigger than academics at Etzel Ford.
Really?
Yeah, that's something I don't agree with at Etzel Ford.
Well, how do you mean that football is bigger than academics?
I think more stress is put on how we do in the Suburban 8 than how we get grades.
Do you think that's good or bad?
I think it's terrible.
Really?
I think it's rotten.
Well, let me ask you this. Now, Edsel Ford is known as a very unique school.
Oh, yeah.
They talk a great deal. Folks talk a great deal about it. In fact, I've taught at Edsel Ford, and they're very, very proud of their humanities program.
Yeah.
Now, what do you feel about it? Is that a hype, or is that for real, or what's your feeling?
A little bit of both. I think the humanities program is great. I like it because, you know, you delve beyond just English or just grammar. We go into, we have 3 days of English each week, and 1 day concentrates on art, and the other day concentrates on music.
Okay.
And, you know, I enjoy that.
So you feel that that's a good...
Oh, that's a good point. I think the English at Edsel Ford can be broadened. I think
Well, now, what do you mean by that?
Okay, I think there's more to literature beyond Hemingway and Shakespeare.
Yes, there certainly is.
And that's all we really got into.
Well, you see, that's a time warp thing that adults get into. We tend to get stuck on as a teacher. I know that I like to teach those things that I feel comfortable with and those things that I was taught in college. You know, we just sort of transferring of knowledge. It's very, very difficult for me to keep abreast of the new writers. For instance, I was amazed. I had a youngster on who now is in his second year in medical school, and we were talking about a book that I required my youngsters to read called Zen and the Art of Motorcycle Maintenance by Dr. Persig. The kid came back here and he said, they asked, and he's from the University of Michigan, in his beginning writing class, they asked how many people had read that book, and he was the only one that had read it. And yet, I doubt that many teachers have read that book, and yet a lot of young people.
I think the same way. I found my favorite author now is Kerouac, Jack Kerouac.
Jack, sure.
And I read books by him that are more relevant to me and to kids my age than Old Man and the Sea and Macbeth. And I think it's a shame that I had to find out about Kerouac by myself. And he was
Nobody ever talked about Kerouac to you?
No, he was, I mean, I talked to
You know, he's a legend. He was a legend in the Beat generation.
I talked to English teachers about him, and they had never heard of Kerouac. They'd never heard of Ginsberg or Burroughs.
You're kidding. Naked Lunch, they'd never heard of?
Maybe Naked Lunch, but never anything else.
I'm amazed at that. I can hardly believe that because you have super people that teach English at that school.
We have a few good teachers.
I mean, a few good teachers.
I've had some great English teachers. I have a teacher, Mr. Patrick, fantastic.
Okay, now tell me about Mr. Patrick. I don't know the man personally. What makes him a great teacher?
He goes beyond. If we read, I read Old Man and the Sea with him. He goes beyond the man in the boat with trying to catch a fish. He goes beyond that.
He delves into the meaning.
And he goes into, he goes behind the author. So Hemingway is just not someone we...
So you know about his own personal trials and tribulations.
And we know about other books he's done, and we get a broader view.
Okay.
Some teachers I've had, we read, he thinks kids are ignorant, and he doesn't really bother explaining. He says, well, you'll find out when you're in college, you'll know more.
And it sort of brushes you off at that point. Well, now, let me understand, Dave. How do you generally feel, if you had to rate Edsel Ford, from your perspective? Now, you by your own admission, you were an average student.
Yeah.
You were not an A student.
No.
How would you rate it? A, B, C, D, E? Where would you rate it? C, an average school.
Yeah.
Could it be that you didn't take the courses that might have made it an A school?
No. I took a wide spectrum of courses.
Did you really?
Yeah. I got into, you know, I went into the electives things. I went into, you know, I took math courses. I took your social study courses. I took English. You know, I got a pretty wide view. I was in the journalism department. And
well, you did marvelously well, I understand, in journalism. I would think that you would give the school an A just on the fact that what the opportunities they gave you.
Oh, they give you a lot of opportunities. I think we have a lot of elective classes, but I don't think they go deep enough, any of them.
Well, now, what do you mean by going deep?
Okay.
Now, let's go back to that one.
Okay, let's go, say you take a elective class for a semester.
Right.
I'll pick one out of the air, mythology.
Okay.
I've never had it, but let's just say you might, you know, get a very sketchy view of it for a semester, but then the class is over after a semester and you're left half knowledge, you know, with not even
surface knowledge.
Yeah.
But if you're an educated person, that introduces you, and then on your own you might want to dig. Do you ever do any well, you told me you got some authors that you came up with on your own, so maybe that's what the teacher was trying to do.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to defend teachers, okay?
Oh,
I think there are great teachers in Dearborn schools,
I think so too.
and I think there are some clunkers.
You
know, but you're going to find that wherever you go.
Yeah.
University of Michigan, there are some marvelous people there, and I met one guy that I'll tell you, I'd like to hit him even today if he was around. I think he was ripping off the students by even taking a salary. So, you know, but you're going to find that wherever you go.
Yeah, I don't know. I just think there's a lot of priorities in, that are confused. I think, I don't know, I think a lot of, like, who's in charge of, like, giving money to whatever, like, to our schools, like, to, who decides how much money goes into athletics, how much money goes into this and that?
Well, I think that's the head of the, you know, the departments. All the departments get together, they put budgets together, and you have superintendents and people like that, and they're approved by the school board.
I don't know. I think there should be more put on the academic side of school, maybe getting new books or something rather than giving a football team new socks.
You seem to be angry at football.
Oh, no, I'm not angry at football.
I think football plays an important role for a lot. In fact,
I think it's a big role. It should be a bigger role. It is. In my school, it was, you know,
do you think football was overemphasized?
Yeah.
Well, now, what about the athletic director and your coaches? Wouldn't that be really, you know, they're doing a good job. That's why it's so important.
Yeah, they're doing a good job. I just think, you know, there should be more basis put on how Edsel kids do when they're out of school.
Well, I understand they do well. I assume you're going to do well.
I'll do well, but I wonder about maybe some of my peers that spent 3 years into maybe athletics or something else, and, you know, 5 years I'm going to see them at the New Place Lounge talking about the game in '82, and, you know, that's what they're going to have to show for Edsel.
That's the only feeling is the sporting things.
Yeah, I mean...
Okay, that's one perception.
Yeah.
But put yourself in the place of a kid who maybe does not get recognition in the academic world. And there are kids like that.
Yeah.
Now here at Edsel, in that area, they shine. And here for a few years on the planet, they get a lot of recognition. You don't feel bad about that, do you?
Oh, no. I mean, I think if somebody can do good at it, that's great. You know, I think
Do you think the administration and the teachers go along with that, or do you think they try and balance the program there?
I think they generally try to balance the program.
So they're making an attempt. I'm a little concerned that you would just put them all down.
No, I'm not. I mean, I'm not saying all jocks are ignorant and they're going to end up drinkers in 5 years, and I'm going to, you know, shoot above them. I'm not saying that at all. There's some people that play football that get 4-point averages, and they do great. I think maybe less stress should be put on athletic programs. I'm not talking just at Edsel.
Yeah, because it goes on Fortson, and it goes on Dearborn, and sure, it goes on at every school.
There might be a priority mix-up when I'm required to take 8 semesters of physical education, and I'm only required to take 1 semester of math.
Okay, that's an interesting point of view. However, the reason for that physical education thing is to maybe take out some of the youthful energy. Now, obviously, you're taking it out of music. Now, are you in a band called the Rude Girl?
I'm in a band called the Mystery Girls.
Oh, you were the person that sent this out?
I'm the one that sent it, yeah.
Okay, now let me see this.
Okay.
Did you dress like this when you were in school? I think, you know, look,
oh, yeah.
Did you have hair? Now, you got grease on your hair? Is that coming back or something?
No, I don't get grease on my hair.
Oh, okay. And you got on a vest and a white shirt, and your tie is tied like a sailor's knot. And you got your brogans on. Did you wear clothing like that to school?
Oh, yeah.
And well, what is that you have on? What is that? Is that a belt? What is that?
It's a little fishnet pink thing.
Pink fishnet.
That I like to wear.
And you dress like that at school?
Yeah.
Do you think maybe that brought some of the...
You know, people that, you know, there were people that would harass me about it, and there were people
Is this you? Like, can we get a close-up of this here? Is this the name of your band?
Yeah.
The Mystery Girls.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
But these are guys, right?
Yeah,
That's a fella there, too.
That's a fella.
What's his name?
That's Kevin Perry. He's our bassist extraordinaire.
Okay. Who's this?
That's Dan Allen, drummer extraordinaire.
This is you, obviously.
That's Dave Bierman.
But you have eye makeup on.
I do.
Did you ever wear eye makeup to school?
Oh, no, not to school. You know, there's only so much physical punishment I can take.
Okay,
and
what about this?
Dave Boutet.
Now, why do you call yourself the Mystery Girl?
Well, It's from influence we had musically, the New York Dolls.
Oh, the Dolls. You know the New York
Dolls.
Dolls.
Yeah, we know the Dolls.
They were
Very
back
few know.
about 10 or, no, yeah, about 10 years ago. 8 or 10 years ago.
72.
They were very, very popular. And when, maybe you won't be surprised, but I played that group when they came to Detroit at the Michigan Theater. Sure.
Yeah.
And, but don't you think maybe people might think that there's something sexually askew here?
Well, there's something. I mean, we're a sexual band. I mean, we're...
Now, wait, what do you mean by there's...
I mean, we have... we're sexual on stage. I mean, I'm not saying I'm the Mayo Wendy O. Williams, but we have a sexual appearance on stage.
Sexual...
We like to cross the gender gap.
It looks feminine.
Yeah.
And you want that?
Yeah. Girls like guys that look like girls.
They do?
Because they're in love with themselves and they appeal to themselves.
Interesting philosophy that girls like... Did you ever expound these things in school? Did you ever talk to teachers about these things?
No, teachers weren't interested. Kids, I had a lot of musical talks about music with my peers at school.
And they understand this?
Oh, no.
Should a parent be upset if his kid comes home wearing eye makeup?
No.
I mean, is he gay?
No, I'm not gay. I love girls.
So it's not a gay thing just
no,
because you're dressed like a girl.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not dressed like a girl.
Well, no, you're not. But I mean, there's something like the pink thing is a little effeminate. Or in my mind, from my generation, had you dressed like that in school, Dave,
I probably would have been.
You wouldn't have made it
very much.
Oh yeah. Well, do you still get any of that?
Oh, I get attacked once in a while.
Does somebody attack you on your chin? I notice you have a big scar.
No, my car attacked me.
Oh, your car attacked you. Sure that you were in an accident?
Oh, the car was totaled, but I got a scrape on my chin. So.
You're a lucky person.
I have one.
Are drugs and booze big at Etzel? I know, you had that terrible tragedy with the 2 players that got
drugs and booze are very big at Etzel. I think.
Really?
But tend to think drugs and booze are a pretty big part of every high school.
Well, I certainly think the booze. I don't, at Dearborn High, I don't think drugs are that big. There are kids who use them.
Booze is really coming back.
Yeah,
From
with
what
I've
gone to parties, and whereas 2 years ago you go to a party and
people light up a joint.
Yeah, you want to smoke a joint. Now it's let's quarter bounce or let's guzzle.
Now wait, what's a quarter bounce? Help the old fella out here.
Okay, the old fellas, you have a little cup of big or little, however you want, and you bounce the quarter. Bounce up table.
Oh, wait a minute. I had somebody show me that from college on the show one time. Yeah, and they bounce
beer
it.
Games.
Yeah, beer games. And what else? What other beer games?
Oh, they have beer bong, where you can swallow whole beer in a matter of seconds. And
that seems like getting drunk with a vengeance.
Yeah, I mean, kids, you're in Dearborn, and believe it or not, there's nothing to do in Dearborn for kids.
Oh, wait a minute. I don't buy that.
After
I've heard that in every
night,
town I've ever been at, and I've been all over the United
9
States
o'clock
and the world.
At 9 o'clock for a kid, Dearborn closes down. What's open? Liquor stores. There's no things for a kid to do. You can hang out at McDonald's only so long. There's only so many movies you can go to see. Fairlane gets boring. You know, I mean...
What would you have done?
I would have maybe, you know, like yesterday was a show at the Greystone.
Yeah, punk show.
No, that's good. I think maybe there should be more of that,
places like
where kids can have an outlet.
Well, that might get some people very upset if they see people dressed like you. You make a lot of people very nervous, you know.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm not going to go out and rape their daughters. I'm just going to...
I would hope not.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
I would hope that you're a good, clean
I'm a
guy.
good kid.
I happen to know that you're a fine writer, and I was impressed with your coverage of the sports things, and wish you a lot of luck. We're just about out of time.
Okay.
Let me see. You're going to be playing here?
We're playing Paycheck September 10th. I don't know if the show will run in time. Tracks September 24th. That's on the side for everybody that doesn't know.
I want you to come back sometime. And
I'd love to come back.
You ever watch this show?
I watch the show all the time.
You're kidding me.
Oh, yeah. No, I like to stomp up and down at home.
Do you stomp up and down?
Yeah, we have.
You got the shoes for it. Those are Brogans.
Russ Gibb parties at home.
Russ Gibb parties.
And then we have MTV parties.
MTV parties. Dave Bierman, thank you.
Thank you.
And good luck to you, really.
Okay.
I'll get down to Tracks to see you one of these times. Russ Gibb, I'll be back right after these announcements.
When you look look for a truck dealership, look to GMC Truck Center in Dearborn, the total dealership for you. The GMC Truck Center offers you a wide range of new and used trucks. We also accept cars in trade, so that buying a truck is a one-stop event. And you can depend on that great GMC quality service to ensure the best treatment for you and your truck. But it's the people that make the difference, and our staff is committed to you. Visit the total dealership, GMC Truck Center on Ford Road at Wyoming in Dearborn.
McDonald's and you. McDonald's and you.
Happy birthday, Mick. Make your child's birthday a really special occasion. Celebrate with a McDonald's birthday party. It doesn't cost a lot, and it's no fuss for you. There's food, fun and games for the kids, and even a special McDonald's birthday cake. A McDonald's birthday party gives him something to remember all year long.
Make a wish together. McDonald's and you.
See your local McDonald's for full details.
The Biggie will do it for you.
They showed me how to double my return and still get to my money whenever I need it.
The Biggie will do it for you.
We save hundreds in taxes every year.
With the Biggie's tax-sheltered savings
And retirement programs.
The Biggie will do it for you.
When you need help with your financial empire, talk to us. If it's new and better, it's at the Big E.
The Biggie will do it for you.
Dearborn Press and Guide goes out to thousands of your neighbors every Thursday. And the Press and Guide is the only weekly newspaper in town whose circulation is verified by the Audit Bureau of Circulation.
So our advertisers know for sure how many people they're reaching.
The Press and Guide is the only paper in town where you can place a classified ad until noon on Wednesday for Thursday's paper. We have courteous, trained advisors who will assist you in placing your ad.
The Press and Guide gives you complete, in-depth coverage on news that affects you and your neighbors, along with entertaining features and an award-winning sports section. The Press and Guide is the only paper in town that brings you award-winning photography and columnists like Fred Hoffman, Gretchen Ackerman, and myself, Gary Warnchak.
The Dearborn Press and Guide. For a lot of people, it's the only newspaper in town.
For home delivery, call 846-3400. When you select a jewelry store, choose one that's as special as the jewels. Shop at the Gold Market, a very different jewelry store. We sell the finest quality jewelry and timepieces, such as art carved and Longines. And we offer a full-service repair department on the premises. But that's just the beginning. We feature professional diamond service where experts will help you select your stone. We offer custom-crafted designs, and we guarantee all of our jewelry. For a jewelry store that's a gem, visit the Gold Market in Westbourne Shopping Center.
Dave Bierman, an interesting young man, graduate from Etzel Ford High School. A fine, fine person. Just looks a little strange. And yes, Grandma, he's not gay. Anyway, up and down, that's what we're doing here. And for those of you that took time to view the show, I'd like to say thank you. For those of you that took time to drop me a card or a letter, I'd like to say thank you. But most of all, I'd like to thank you for just being you. Russ Gibb, at random.